Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this out there on the World Wide Web. This is Jeremy Geelan for SYS-CON TV here at 5th Cloud Expo in New York City with Warren Davidson from Objectivity. Going to give us an update, I'm guessing, on a whole lot of things going on with Objectivity and, of course, the meta story of a whole lot of things going on with the cloud, Warren.
Yes, so the last time we were at Cloud Expo in California, we talked about the needs for cloud computing to have a really scalable, distributed data management system. So
we did.
It was a bit of an area that had a lot of interest in it. Since that time, another area has really kind of percolated up, and it's really the need to collect data related to data. And how do you actually find data related to data? So there's this whole area that's getting a lot of interest called graph databases. There's been a movement within the cloud environment called NoSQL. NoSQL is sort of an alternative to relational technologies because people have felt those didn't fit well into the cloud environment. But as the NoSQL movement has evolved, it's really kind of broken up into 4 segments: column store, hash tables, document database management systems. One leg of that stool is graph databases. Now, why graph databases? Well, at the end of the day, graph databases allow people to connect data very rapidly. And a good example is everybody knows that Google uses 80% of their processing is using Hadoop, collecting petabytes of data. 20% of Google is processing graph data. Graph data is used for doing things like page ranking, where they can connect pages and content to related pages. That's really a graph structure. Another example would be Facebook or LinkedIn, where I'm connected to Jeremy. People use graph data to make these linkages. That's an area that's really growing, even in recommendation engines, for example, where you go to Amazon, you buy a book, and they're going to recommend other books. They want to use a graph database behind the recommendation engine. So we really see that in the cloud space, being able to not only collect a lot of data, but to connect a lot of data is an area that Objectivity can play in, because customers have been building graph applications on top of Objectivity for years in a very scalable distributed environment, but the key is linking that data together in a very rapid time span.
Now, one of my takeaways from that, which is an extraordinary thing, is just the speed at which you say something can percolate up. 7 months ago we're talking, and what you're saying is, I'm guessing that this is even going to be productized already, and it's just 6 months. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that you do is you take from your customers where your product fits, where you can meet the need. And when we, over the years, had worked with our customers to build these graph environments, we had done a lot of custom work and we had provided consulting to companies. So as the market has evolved and the interest in graph databases has really accelerated, we started to look at just where the market was going, and we knew that there really weren't many technologies that could really handle and support graph data well from a persistence perspective. And not only can Objectivity handle graph data because of the way that we store data, but we're very scalable. And we're scalable in 2 ways. We're scalable in the sense of having a lot of data that you can query across nodes and edges to find that information. That's how people structure graph data. It's nodes and edges. But because we're a distributed database, we can ultimately distribute across multiple graphs, and we can also go very deep into a graph. If you think about the problem of Kevin Bacon, the 6 degrees, today a lot of graph technologies can do a couple of degrees, 1 or 2 degrees.
As it scales up.
But can you go 4 or 5 degrees? And we've proven that in enterprises today. And now basically we're going to commercialize that product and bring it to the marketplace so that companies can take advantage of our technology for graph data persistence.
This is all good stuff. Now, obviously, you're not showing it yet here, but that's coming up soon, maybe?
Yes, very soon. And we've talked to a number of people about it because we wanted to validate the requirement, validate the needs. And so we found through this show, talking to people about the types of data requirements that they have for the cloud, most people realize there's plenty of technologies that can consume large amounts of data, they don't find a lot of technologies that are commercially available to allow them to traverse graph data easily. And so following this show, it'll be very good for us. We're going to have a lot of conversations with people who are interested in the graph database product, how it can solve their needs, and really help them solve some of the problems that they haven't solved today.
So the show for Objectivity, it's been fruitful?
Very, very good. This particular show, being in New York, not only is a little different from California, but it's showing a maturity. A lot of the people who have come to our booth this week have a better understanding of what some of the challenges are in managing data in a cloud environment. We're also getting people who are coming from large organizations who are looking to build cloud infrastructures, and have really confirmed that they don't fully understand how they're going to do the data management layer, but they do acknowledge and recognize that there are complexities to their data that they have to do that internet companies don't have to worry about. And the other aspect is the breadth of companies coming. We're even getting integrators here from the government, people who service the U.S. government and places like Washington, D.C., trying to look at how they're going to build clouds. And I actually had some very good conversations about the complexity of the data. How are they going to handle data that does have a lot of connectivity to it? They don't have a solution. Understanding that we're coming out with a commercial graph database product for them was very enlightening for them.
So it's all happening for Objectivity. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. And I'm assuming we will be speaking again on the West Coast, by which time you'll tell me, well, yeah, now that's out, Jeremy. You wait till you hear what else we've discovered.
Actually, when we come out with the first version of the product, I think it's going to be very, very good. But we've got some ideas on how to expand the product that when we do get to the next show, it will be very exciting.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much, Warren Davidson, and thank you for following out there on the World Wide Web. Go to objectivity.com and check out this company, because if you don't know what they're doing, you ought to. Thanks again, Warren.
Thanks, Jeremy.
And thank you for joining us on SYS-CON TV.